vector sum, subtraction, and multiplication by a constant. A vector is an object that is described by its length, or in other words magnitude, and its direction. So all of these objects represent the exact same vector, because they have the exact same length and direction. Let us now look at the sum of two vectors. Suppose we have the vector a and the vector b. To find the sum of the two vectors a plus b, we map the starting point of the vector b to the end point of the vector a, like this. And the sum of the two vectors is again a vector that connects the start point to the end point of the path, that is the following vector. In fact, it is equivalent to matching the end point of the vector b to the starting point of the vector a and connecting the start and end points of the path, which would lead to the exact same vector. Let us now consider a sum of three vectors a, b and c. We again map the starting point of the new vector c to the end point of the vector b to get the sum of the three vectors equal to the vector connecting the start and end point of the path, as before. Again, we can map the vectors in a different way, so that first comes the vector b, then c, then a, but we again get the same vector as the sum of the three vectors. Let us now consider the last example, which will combine sum and subtraction of vectors and multiplication by a constant. Suppose we have the following vectors a, b, and c, and we want to find the vector 5/3 times the vector a plus the vector b minus 5 times the vector c. Let us go step by step. So first let us draw the vector 5/3 times the vector a, which means a vector with the same direction as the vector a, but 5/3 times longer, so the following vector. Now let's try to draw the vector minus 5 times the vector c. First, note that here we have a subtraction of vectors, which can also be written as a sum of the vector minus 5c. The minus sign means a vector of the same length as c, but having the reverse direction like this. And so minus 5 times the vector c lead to the following vector. We are left to find the sum of the three vectors. We connect the vectors in the following way, and so the sum of the vectors is the following vector.